Because if you have a daughter, it's like less of a problem. But if I'm gonna have a son, it's gonna be like with a Giga Stacy, who is my height, who doesn't have a receded jawline. I just know too much. Do you want to be born like from an attractive father as a child mogger, or you'd be like transferred into a rich family? I mean, I will tell you why Muslim girls are worse. They are worse because not only they act like Western women, but they have the superiority complex of a Muslim woman. Okay, let's go.
If I had a family and times got hard, I would just walk out on them. you know,
The other day, a viewer brought to my attention that Mitten Squad's dad has been posting on Reddit. Showed me his dad's posts on there. His dad also posted Mitten Squad's pictures.
I mean, did his dad post his pictures after he died? I mean, I remember Rehab's Room's video about this guy, but was it like after he's died he put those pictures?
Childhood pictures on there as well for his fans. Met up with his followers in real life and stuff. So it is not a fake account. For the very few that who don't know who the Mitten Squad is, he was a gamer YouTuber who passed away last year because of complications stemming from his alcoholism. You know, Mitten Squad was someone I could relate to on a personal level. When I made that video about a year ago, I didn't even know who he was. People brought it up to my attention, but I could immediately relate. Looks-wise, I am similar to his level. If you want a rehab, I just want to put a face to the name. What would you rate yourself out of 10? I would rate myself what you would rate Mitten Squad. Another thing
That's
I could see myself in him. During college, I have been in a similar headspace myself, drinking a lot, resorting to alcohol as escapism. I really could have gone down a similar path myself. Reading a post of his dad there prompted me to make this video. Finally go through with this. I mean, I was gonna make a video on parenting anyway, how to be a good parent, but this is a good opportunity. I am not gonna comment on his dad specifically. These points were already on my list. I was gonna talk about them anyway. In a thread there, his dad replies to a commenter. Commenter says, I don't mean to be rude at all, but why didn't you try and help him with his alcoholism? Drinking 2 liters of 80 proof rum is not something a typical person can do. You really have to work yourself up to that over the course of years. Absolutely, man. You know, it is not something a normal person would do. When you look at people resorting to extreme escapism, you know, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be video game addiction as a form of escape. And he had both, really. He had both of them. I mean, it could be a lot of things. You know, it could be food, binge eating. You will see people saying, I find.
I mean, is coping with video games as bad as coping with alcohol? Like, I don't agree that. I mean, they are both addictions, yes. Are they both equally damaging? I don't think so. Because, I mean, if you set up your life and you have everything, like you have a lot of money, you have a lot of like girls whenever you want. I mean, once you're done with like eating out and having all the fun with the girls, you want to be playing video games. Like, there is not an activity that is more fun than playing video games. Like, a perfect life for me would be like going to the gym, meeting with the girl, having fun with the girl, eating something like ordering some pizza or something, and then when like you're done, you start playing video games. I don't see it that it is as bad as alcohol. Alcohol ruins your health. Video games, I mean, up to 6 hours a day, you're fine. I mean, the only way video games are bad for you is that your life is a mess. You need money, you need to work, you need to do stuff, but you're playing video games instead. But let's say like in a utopic world where like let's say AI gets advanced so much that we don't need to do any job, like everything is done. We have robots, and the money that we gain from the AI and robots does not go to the elite, right? It's spread to people, and no one has to work anymore. I mean, wouldn't we all be playing video games? Like maybe going to the gym to stay like alive or something, but other than that, playing video games is a good thing. And he was making money playing video games, so it's not even just a hobby for him. Like he was literally making money while playing video games, so that was his job. You cannot call like I don't know, Asmongold the loser because he spends like 8 days in front of 8 hours a day in front of his screen because he's getting paid for it. And I think this guy was getting paid for like I don't see the alcohol definitely. There is no good that can come out of alcohol. Alcohol is bad on every possible level. So putting alcohol and video games as if they're like hey two addictions side by side, I don't think that's fair. But from the context, I can understand where Rehab Room is coming from. So let's continue.
Find comfort in food. That is the only rush I get in life. I was talking to a community member who sent me his picture, and I was like, bro, I don't want to sound like a normie here, but it is so unusual for me. People who send me their pictures are usually guys who are already soft looks maxed, at least average looking. He told me that he just finds comfort in food. That is the only thing he got. He has to look forward to in his
Hello, Green Lover. Hello, Ralph. Ted, I'm happy that everyone could join, but I'm discovering the video right now. I have not watched it before.
daily life.
A lot of people tell me to lose weight. A lot of people who watch my videos, they comment and they say lose weight. No, I'm not gonna lose weight because I don't give a shit.
But
He won't lose weight because he doesn't lose. He always wins, right?
there is usually an underlying psychological cause leading to that. Stress. And stress doesn't have to stem from big responsibilities, bro. Oh, what kind of stress can you have? You are just a college student. Are you feeding families? Are you running businesses? Don't be a crybaby. What stress can you have as a college student?
Nah, that's not how stress works at all. He's completely right. I mean, having like anxiety, you can have no objective threats, but you're still feeling like stressed and threatened. So yeah, when a boomer tells you like, "Hey, what do you know of your life? You're just a student. What do you know about stress?" Like, even if you objectively like quantify his stress in quantity like very small, you are you cannot underestimate his ability, his lack of experience in terms of dealing with stress. Like he has not as much stress as you are as a father of family, let's say, right? Even if that was the case, you have the experience to deal with that stress. The young person doesn't. So stop being condescending to young people. He was exaggerating when he said him and Mitten squad are on the same looks level. Rehab is slightly higher. I mean, no one has ever seen him. He does not exist. Like Rehab Room is some AI form of intelligence that does not exist in our real world.
Life doesn't work like that. But let's continue with the comment. You really have to work yourself up to that over the course of years. There must have been signs of this behavior going back to his teenage years or even before. What happened in his childhood that you think might have triggered his addictive personality?
I hate when people talk to regular parents as if they all had some psychological training. Like his father is not a psychologist. Like, have you not seen like signs of? I mean, I understand that parents should be concerned for the health of their children, but I mean, a teenager can drink and his parents cannot be aware of it. Is it their job to be aware of it? Yes, but should we treat every person, every parent, as if they are a professional healthcare, a mental healthcare person? Like, I don't. I think that's over the edge, but I mean, yeah.
Is that response? You are not being mean at all. Believe it or not, this didn't start until he was about 20 years old. When you have adult children, there's nothing you can do. You can check for yourself, but you can't force an adult into treatment. His childhood was normal and he was cherished by the whole family. He was just a good boy growing up. Hope this answers the question a bit. You know, I have to be truthful here, man. I don't want this to be distasteful, but I also gotta be honest. I would bet money some signs were there. You just failed to realize it. I mean, I agree with him on the fact that you can't force an adult into treatment, but I don't agree with his take that there were no signs. Bro, I am sorry, but I don't believe that.
I mean, listen, growing up, I had problems like every teenager, right? And I don't think my parents were aware of it. Like, because when they ask me, I say I'm fine. But I'm not fine. When they ask me, I say I'm fine, but I'm not really fine. You know, like the Katy Perry meme, right? But the thing is that the family structure that existed around me, the fact that I had male friends, male cousins who are older than me, they were the one who showed me the way. So it's not like just the parents. It's like when you have a grown, like a whole ass society where you don't have like just a father and a mother. And for the case in the West, sadly, it's mostly just a mother, right? The father is usually absent. So you don't even have a masculine figure in the home. But I did not learn how to become a balanced person from my father. My father had no idea I had like any sort of trouble. It's not like because every time he asked me like, "Hey, are you fine?" I said like, "Hey, I'm fine." What are you doing in studies? We're doing good. It doesn't matter. It's just an automatic response. Like you don't want to be telling uh, your problems to your actual parents. You want to have some sort of like older friends or some sort of other form of support. Like I had my cousins. I had a male friend who was 12 years older than me who taught me most of what I knew about girls when I was blue pilled. So if I got anything when I was blue pilled, it's because thanks to him, because he gave me the advice of like, try not to be clingy, try not to like, don't be clingy, don't be needy. So the regular stuff. So I'm guessing that those like this guy who's like in like with his alcoholism that started at 20 years, 20 years, that's he said like he started drinking at 20, okay? That's when your friends, your older cousin, your older brother will be like, "What are you doing? You're gonna kill yourself." And he takes the bottle away from you. That's not only the parent's responsibility. I told you, you cannot. Were there signs? Yes. If I was the parent, would I be seeing the signs? Yes, because I'm a trained medical doctor who knows how to catch on these things. But I do not expect this from the regular parent. What I think is ideal is that when the whole society takes care of everyone. So you guys in the comments, hello, Benny Met. You can answer this. Anyone can answer this. when you grew up, how many older men than you had in your life who were significant? Like you can count brothers, you can count cousins, you can count like uncles, grandfather, father. Like how many of them by number? Because for me, the number is like almost 20. I had like four older cousins, two cousins who were my age. I had three uncles. I had my father's friends who taught me a lot of stuff. Like those men, I could talk to them about stuff and they would help me. So it's not my father. Like, do you know what my father taught me? My father told me to be a nice boy, right? My father told me the blue pill thinking. He told me to work hard, to study hard, to not smoke, to not drink. Yeah, but he could not like follow me 24/7 the whole year, right? He had to go to work, and the society, the school system, the people I studied with, we all kept each other in check. So in the West, if you have like a very individualistic society, you cannot expect this parent to just follow behind his kid like that. Sounds like an Algerian family. Well, you can say so. It's Tunisia, so it's the same, right? But you would have people older than you who are male and more experienced in life who will help you with that. So saying how to be a good parent, it's very hard to be a parent who can replace the whole societal structure that you need to have in the society in order to. Uh, are you guys seeing my point? Like, can you see my point?
Because he said it himself in a video that he was the mood kid at high school.
When you tell us about your high school life as a quiet kid, is it really true or just for laughs? And how's your college life going? College is none of your business, and the high school thing is 100% true. I was the quietest kid in my class. I mean, they voted for me as the quietest kid. It's not up for debate. There were many a day where literally all I said was here during attendance, and that was it.
You think that is normal, completely normal, to be the mood kid, silent kid in high school? Or maybe he didn't know that. Like, he didn't know he was a YouTuber. I don't claim to know their relationship to a T, but I know enough. I know enough to be able to tell that there were probably some signs, bro. The fact that he didn't know his son was a YouTuber until he received tax documents from Google to his house tells me enough to doubt that statement, that there were no signs. I will try to find that comment too during editing, but he says that he only found out that Mitten Squad was a YouTuber and already made 10K, something like $10,000.
Better Bones says there is a new female BP channel that started a couple of days ago and she already got like 1,200k subs. Okay, guys, I'm gonna kill myself. Brutal, just be a woman pill, not gonna lie. That may remind me of your grind, keep growing, go bro, never get up. I mean, yeah. No, I do not. GDN, do you use finasteride? No, I don't use any medications. The hair transplant and that's it. Oh, yeah. I mean, should I collab with this girl or like, I don't know, tell me the name of her channel. Maybe it's not 1.2k anymore, it's 5k or 10k. Like, what's the name of her channel, Better Bones?
When they got a tax mail from Google. That just tells me that you are not even aware what your son is up to. That your son is recording commentaries in his room, making videos to the point of making $10,000.
Yeah, but I mean, it is kind of the norm. I'm not here like disagreeing with Rehab Room, but for example, my father had no clue what I was doing on my own time. Like, you cannot ask my father like what game is your son is playing. Like, is he playing Dota? Is he playing World of Warcraft? Is he watching porn? Is he with this friend or is he with the other friend? Is he uploading videos on YouTube? Or he does not know those things about me. And I am a balanced person. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't like do anything bad. So I don't see how his father can be this responsible for everything. But I can also see the point. So I think like you cannot raise a child like as like a couple, like a man and a woman are not enough. You need a whole community. So that's why I will be disagreeing with like whether what's needed to be a good parent or not.
It is not easy, bro. And not only that, it also tells me that you ain't all that close. Where your son goes up to you and say, look, dad, I made 10G of Google. 10K is a lot, bro. YouTube pays peanuts. You gotta have like around 10 million views to make that amount of money. You gotta allocate a lot of time into it. Playing the video game, editing, recording, like everything, like a full-time job. You gotta treat it like a full-time job. And his dad had no clue. Mitten Squad didn't tell him. If you didn't get that mail to your house, what was gonna happen? God knows when you were gonna find out what your son is up to in that room all day long. So I kinda doubt the accuracy of this comment. Or he didn't have any signs. Maybe he did. You just didn't know. Just like you didn't know what he was up to in that room. So it does not tell me everything about their relationship, but it...
In that room? I mean, if they were living in the same house, it would be brutal that he doesn't know that his son has a YouTube channel, but I mean, I still don't think like, does any of your parents here follow like what you're doing? Will you be following your son when he's like 14, 15, 16? Will you be actually asking him what kind of games he's playing? I mean, unless you're going to play the games with him, right? But I mean, why would you be like following your son on every step, like who he's playing with, who he's talking to? That would be too much. Like, that's not normal parenting.
He kind of reminds me of my parents in that aspect. Good intentions, good people. My parents are like that. Like, if you go to them, if you go and ring their bell, say you're hungry, they will probably give you some food. Like, they have good intentions. But in this world we live in, intentions aren't what counts. Sadly and unfortunately. This is the crux of the issue. I kind of agree with him on the fact that fixing the underlying issue that led to him being that most silent kid in high school, fixing that is a lot more complicated, you know. What led to resort to extreme escapism like video game addiction and alcohol. Regarding whether he could have prevented the trauma itself, and this is where it gets complicated, bro. I am not sure if there was much he could have done at that point.
Yes, exactly. So you're blaming him for not knowing, but then you also admit that if he knew, there's not much he can do, because I told you, you cannot raise a child, a balanced child, with just two parents. You need a whole structure that has at least like 15 people. Like,
Sad reality of the world we live in is that you cannot fix one thing to make up for another. That's not the way the world works. Best parenting is done during the first trimester, guys. What matters is you give your son good looks and money. Guys, people are social animals. They are gonna find their way in life as long as they got what it takes to be popular, to be social animals that they were born to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to micromanage every aspect of their lives. But what are you gonna do? Most people are oofy-doofies that try to live through their child. They make their children some sort of their life project, you know. But when you look at the world, children with good looks and children that have enough financial means will find their way in life. They will grow to be functioning humans on their own and develop those much needed connections and have those experiences that are vital. Pediatrics overcomplicate this, or attachment theory. That theory claims that if you have a good bond with your parents, it will lead you to have good people skills during adulthood. You will trust people more. That is the theory. But I don't believe in that, bro. It is not the attachment theory. It is not the bond the child has with his mother that leads him to be liked by other people and grow a high self-esteem. The psychological literature really overcomplicate this. When the reality is a lot more simple. It is better, let me word it this way. It is easier, maybe not better, but easier to develop a true self-esteem with parents that aren't involved in every aspect of your life, maybe a bit negligent at times, but gave you good looks and good financial means, than with parents that show you love, who are never negligent, show you affection, but gave you poor looks and a bad financial situation. The former kid will find his way in life. Once you have looks, the rest of the life will work out. All will fall into place. Once you got it, you are pretty much set. The rest will come naturally. Being likable, you know, being more outgoing, connections, then job opportunities. Once you have looks, you are pretty much set. The rest will come. They all will come naturally. You will become the man you were supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Higher chances of turning out to be a good human as well. Because
turning as the man you are supposed to be, I mean, you are who you are supposed to be. I don't like, he wanted to mean like potential, right? But to the man you were supposed to be, I mean, I want to think about this a little. Guys, I mean, giving your children good looks will give them the advantage. But I think good looks are needed in the West. Like, I'm not saying that in the other countries you don't need looks. All I'm saying, in other countries, you have a whole structure that will discipline everyone who's being like unnecessarily mean, that's going to limit bullying, that's going to limit mogging. Why is mogging so prevalent in Western societies? Because it is a very individualistic society that relies on like smaller families, single parent household. And in those situations, yes, you need looks to survive because you need to have leverage on people. People want to be with you because you want to be in order to be balanced, you need good connections. In order to have good connections, people must value something in you. In the West, that is your looks. In other countries, you can grow up like having just good family connections, and you have like a group of people, like 10 guys who will love you, who will defend you with their life just because you are their cousin. It doesn't matter if you're short or ugly, you are their cousin and they're gonna die for you. That sort of connection makes you more balanced. Now, will that mean that when you grow up and you go to the West, that will get you girls? No, you need looks for that. Looks are the main thing in the dating world. But if you want to have balanced children, you need to have the structure, the societal structure that will have a lot of people who will participate in teaching them a lot of things. But if you don't have that, now you need to have looks as a compensation, because looks will trump everything. Looks will remove the need of having a normal family. I mean, if you guys were offered, would you want to be like good looking or have a great family? You will pick good looking because of the dating aspect, right? But a balance, like having above average looking looks and a normal family, also could lead to a good life. So I don't know. I think he must kind of precise that this is modern. This is in the West. But when he doesn't say anything, we are assuming that this is like the modern times, the West. So he's not wrong. I'm just clarifying that you need looks now because you do not have the societal structure that we have before. So yeah, if you I hope you get my point. If you have any questions, like guys, please ask. GGN, by the way, what length saddle do you have? I just like, go with like a knife. I have a cheap like one. I don't like know how to measure it. I just like keep it short and like trim it here and like here. I do it myself, but I don't know the measurements. I just like look at myself in the mirror and try to make something that does not make me look very ethnic. Unsuccessful at times.
People will show you their better version, their better part. People overcomplicate this, bro. Oh, affection, encourage independence, show your child to take initiative. There is no initiative for your face, bro. All that mumbo jumbo about pediatrics. When the success formula is a lot more simple. Because guess what? People are simple. The best parenting is done within the first trimester. That is easily, by far, the most important time of parenting. The first trimester. Giving your child necessary genes to succeed in life. I have made a small change to Freud's line. He said that anatomy is destiny. There is another factor. Anatomy and geography is destiny. The genetic makeup and the location the child was born in. These two are easily the most important things you can give to your child. A lot of us take the privilege of living in a first world country for granted. If you are living in some godforsaken country,
I mean, how do they like get themselves to have children in these places? Like, I live in a very safe place. I have a lot of assets I could give to my children, and I still don't want to have children because I deem that the world is hard and stuff. But these people in these conditions, they keep having children like rabbits. Yeah.
where the currency isn't worth the paper it is printed on. Your passport puts you on ICE deportation list. What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You are gonna feel like that kid I showed in my last video. You are helping tourists mugging you in your own country, helping geomaxers that mug you in your own country.
Man. I mean, is this like his? I don't think this is his real height, right? I mean, first of all, this is a baby elephant since like the dude literally height mocks an elephant, right? But this dude, I'm sorry, you cannot see him. I'm sorry. Yeah, this guy. Can you see him? Like, yeah. I'm showing you the full image now, like this. Is this like his real height? Like for real? It looks like photoshopped or something. I can't believe like this is like his real height. Like he can, if the girl had a dick, he could suck it standing. Like I don't believe that this is his height, but man, this is brutal if it's his height because he looks like an adult. Like let me show you again. He looks like a full grown adult. Man.
By taking your woman in front of you. So that what? He can give you some money, which is probably like $5. Since your currency isn't worth the paper it is printed on.
GDN, African elephants are like 2x tall. Well, not only African elephants, African something else is 2x tall, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Well, it looks like the trunk of the elephant, but yeah, it is his real height. The girl is a model and obviously on the taller side. I mean, yeah, the guy looks tall and she's, but model, I mean, she's like normal face. Yeah, beacon of hope. I agree. Like model is, but anyone can call themselves a model, right?
So there are 5 things you can do, you can give to your child, in order of importance. 5 elements, 5 points to being a good parent. 1. Genetic makeup. By far the most important factor. Child's looks and intelligence. Intelligence to a lesser degree than looks, but still, it counts. I include this together in the genetic makeup altogether. Number 2, location, guys. Location.
I mean, personally, I have a very smart father. Like my father IQ mugs a lot, but he got married to not the smartest woman ever. And I was like, when I was young, I was like, Dad, you're so smart. If you like had married like a very smart woman, I would have been so smart myself, right? Because I'm like just average IQ, like, okay. But when now I grow up and I realize that he married a beautiful woman, and I'm happy with it. Like literally, I don't care. I'd give away IQ points if it gave me more looks, to be honest.
This is for people who don't live in a developed country. I would strongly suggest moving to another country for your child. For example, that Mogwarts guy. His parents dipped Syria the moment civil war popped up. He was lucky. You must be someone in Syria to be able to legally immigrate to America. White, blue eyes. Now that is good parenting. He was never an average Syrian. Never. He was just a good lifer. Now, admittedly, this gets a little bit more tricky if you are not a white good lifer, but I still believe this is better because your child will have access to better education, better opportunities, to better infrastructure. But at the same time, yeah, you will be a minority. Just goes back to the first point I was talking about, the genetic makeup. You gotta have the right stats to make the best out of location as well. The importance of the first point. After location, I would say money, logistics, providing means. Even if you don't have the number one, even if you couldn't give your child the proper looks, good height, at least give him some money to cope in peace, to live in comfort. If I can't be beautiful, I wanna be invisible, but what are you gonna do? Then you can't be invisible either. You couldn't give him good looks, a tall height. At least give him the option to check out in peace.
Like, I have never talked to my father about this. I mean, sadly, he passed away before we could talk about all these subjects. But from what I heard, like from my grandmother and from the poems he used to write, because he wrote poems, I understood that he was in love with a girl in his university who rejected him or like broke up with him or broke his heart or something like this. And she was like smart and probably not as good looking as my mom. So after getting his heart broken in college, he got married to my mom, he married my mom, who is 10 years younger than him. And I was happy with that decision because I mean I don't know if like he had a son with that woman, it would have been me with my conscience, right? But if it was gonna be me, I'm glad that my mom is my mom.
What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Number 4, guys, good nutrition. Like, even though this is called for looks, for face, for being healthy, I'm gonna include this as well. Nutrition before age like 14, 15, during your formative years, even if it makes 1 inch of height difference, it still matters. Like, even this is more important than so.
In terms of nutrition, like nutrition, what you eat, yes, it is height, but what you eat in terms of like hard foods, it really helps with the jaw. Like you cannot, like mouth breathing and not eating hard foods, it really determines the jaw. It's not just genetics.
Called or give your child encouragement type of.
But since it's done like in your formative years, you are not conscious and we cannot blame you for that. So it still gets into luck factors. It's not purely genetics, but it's another thing that you don't have control over anyway. So might as well count it as genetics.
Of pediatrics mumbo jumbo. Good nutrition early on will have health benefits as well, like breastfeeding. And only after these, you can mention the social aspect, the parental socialization. I don't believe in being a strict parent. Sure, like teach your child about the realities of life, keep it real, because there are some valuable life lessons to be taught early on. In life, you get what you can, not what you think you deserve. It is a result-driven world. Morals are only for lip service. The importance of looks. These are all important lessons, sure. You should teach these, but remember that it might not even make a big difference. Sadly and unfortunately, you can't make up for the lack of the first 3 by doing this right. It doesn't work like that. That is why I'm not big on learning how to be a good parent. You don't learn. You become a good parent before becoming a parent, not after. That is why I'm not big on learning how to be a good parent. Because you become a good parent before becoming a parent.
I mean, this is so true because I mean, I can see like you guys are discussing my SMV. Like, please stop. I don't want to have the same audience as, what's his name? Clavicular. Like, Clavicular has like his whole live chat masturbating over him. Like, that's crazy. So, yeah, but doesn't matter. You think I'm a 5. You think I'm a 7. You think I'm a 10. It doesn't matter. If I'm going to have a son, if I'm going to have like, because if you have a daughter, it's like less of a problem. But if I'm going to have a son, it's going to be like with a Giga Stacy, who is my height, who doesn't have a receded jawline because I just know too much. Like, I just know too much. It's not like I can have a child like that and not give him any money rather than like becoming a billionaire and having a child with an average woman. I think that's better. Like, which one would you want to be born like with from an attractive father who chose an attractive mother to have you as a child mogger, or you'd be like transferred into a rich family? I mean, I don't think. Hello, no name. You're kind of late, but welcome anyway. So yeah, you wouldn't want to have like just rich parents. Yeah, you'd rather be Chad than rich. And I'm thinking in the future, not even in the far future, in the near future, money will not matter. I mean, I don't have a lot of money, but I have a computer with a good internet, and I can play World of Warcraft, and I can like drink this sugar-free vanilla Coke drink that's very tasty. Life is not as expensive as people want to make it. Like, you don't have to own a house. Like, you just like live your life. Who cares about money? Like, what makes you happy in life is always like looks related. The most fun, exciting stuff that happens in my life is when I get validated by women, and women validate me because of my looks. Anything I can get with money doesn't really make me happy. It makes me like comfortable, but I mean, you get what I'm trying to say, right? Like, life is not that expensive anyway.
not after. By choosing a better partner, by having financial means before having a child. The important point here is maybe not traumatizing the child. But it is okay, man, if you are a bit negligent here and there. Leaving the kid be as long as you give him good looks and IQ. You don't need to micromanage every aspect of your child's life, bro. You gotta realize that that's a different human, different independent human. I am not a believer in heavy hands-on parenting. That is why I'm not sure if there was much Mitten squads that could do. Because even if you try to make up for the lack of the first 3 points by over-parenting after, it won't be.
So I'm gonna remove the chat so you can see it. Just a second. Yeah. So good parenting, good looks but poor parents, non-good looks but rich or high status parents, a bit of crocodile, which means like abuse, right? And yeah, I'm broken wings, like the video, guys. Thank you very much. Yes, that we have already 33 people watching. That's great. Like, look at the time, guys. Non-good looking and poor and low status parents. Brutal. Like hard mode. You know, for those who play Fire Emblem, it's called like maniac or lunatic mode. Like you have to play the hard mode to unlock the lunatic or maniac mode. Poor Hamoudi. Rest in peace. Arizo, have you watched my last video where I talked about money? West Coast Kirby, sub guidance, love the channel. Thank you very much. Hamoudi wasn't really that bad looking. I mean, stop lying, man. Like, look, fat, asymmetry, receding. I mean, yeah, 3 strikes. Better Bones is correct. Could he look smacks? Maybe. Could he marry a woman back home? Maybe, but he has every right to complain. I mean, I think he's living in the West since he speaks in English. Yeah. If he lost fat, if he had a hair transplant, if he had maybe a couple of surgeries, a couple of fillers, but that's too much work. He's a normie underneath, yes. I think, like, guys, whatever all you're saying, I think the best steps for Hamoudi was to go back home. I know guys like Hamoudi who became like doctors in Russia, came back home and are married to decent looking women. So, I mean, in third world countries, you can still like do some arranged marriage if you get yourself a decent job. So that's what I would be doing, not looks maxing. Looks maxing is like, this is too low to start looks maxing. He was high IQ, neurotypical comedy genius. So yeah, if he's funny, I mean, yeah, he had a lot of options, but Russia ate third world. I'm not talking about Russia, I'm talking about Tunisia. My Tunisian friend who studied in Russia, but they went back to Tunisia, he looked like Hamoudi. I have a friend who's Hamoudi's lookalike. I will not show you pictures, of course, but I have a friend who literally looks like Hamoudi. The only difference is like his hair, like a little bit lighter, but since he's balding, it doesn't matter. Like, the hair color doesn't matter if you're balding, right? So yeah. Why don't you open a Patreon? I mean, because of the sanctions in the Russian Federation. Hopefully, when they're lifted, I'm gonna have some sort of monetization. Russia seems easier than the West. To be honest, I tried Tinder in Canada and Russia. I get much better results here. I mean, it depends on the city. Moscow is brutal. Yeah, even as an ethnic, Russian women seem, yeah, kinda like the eliminate. Like, when I try France or Germany, it's dead, bro. It's dead. Like, with my looks, like, no. You need to be like, if you are from my ethnicity, you need to be like 9 out of 10 to be considered. Why don't you move to the USA? I mean, I love living here. I mean, if some opportunity presents itself and it's better for me to move to the US, I would consider it. I have no problems against the US. I just love living here for the moment. Have you noticed couples outside having 1 meter height difference recently? Kuluku's asking. Not only I have noticed this, when I'm walking on the street, especially with my cousin, we play this game. One day I'm just gonna take my phone like this and go on live and record for you guys the couples I see, because all I see are like guys who tower over their girlfriends, and the only guys I see with a girl who is like, how to say this, in a not simping relationship, like a relationship where the girl is actually into the relationship. The guy is 20-30 centimeters taller than the girl, he's less than 15% body fat, and he's not balding, and he's white. These 4 things never miss. Like, it's always like these 4 conditions, they are like always present. Dude, I used Tinder in Canada and was about to rope packs. I mean, it is depressing. Like, when I saw, like, I did a Tinder experiment, I talked about it in another video. Hans did it in Germany. I'm sorry. My Tinder experiment depressed me. I was not even one doing it. Like, it was the one friend from Discord who was doing it for me, and I like, it genuinely hurt. Yeah. Where to Geomax as a black guy? I mean, since you speak from, I don't know if black guys could have a better chance in African countries where the majority is black, but then you will not be enjoying the life in terms of like, if you are used to living in the US, you cannot just move to Africa and live there, I guess. Do you think it is possible for a woman to have genuine desire for the average or slightly below average height? West Coast Kirby asking. I don't think it's possible anymore. Like, once you open up to the dating apps, the social media, the dating multiple guys. I mean, there is one video I want to, like, I wish I could like get it fast, but I can't find it that fast. I mean, yeah, anyways. So the guy says, before your girl had a crush. Let's say she had a crush on DiCaprio, on Brad Pitt. She had a crush on Brad Pitt, whatever, right? And that's it. That's where it ended. And she's dating you. She has a crush on some famous person, but she dating you. Now she can just grab her phone and DM that person and actually, like, literally get a response from the famous guy she's texting. Look, I dated girls who were at some point in their life, even like when while they're with me or before or after, where they were texting with famous people, like famous footballers in Russia, famous like actors in Russia. I mean, like not even in Russia sometimes. Sometimes like some Turkish actor. Like I'm like, you're a regular girl. Like you work in McDonald's and we go to the same university. Like how are you on like how are you texting this guy from Dubai who lives like in some mansion in Dubai or something? Like how are you doing this? You're a regular girl. Uh, so yeah, I don't want to like give too much details because I have dated girls who went like on Russian national TV and stuff, and they got there by just going to some sort of casting. How do you call it? Like casting? She just goes and said like, "Hey, I want to participate in your show," and they're like, "Yeah, you're a girl. Come on over." So yeah, it cannot be an average guy and expect genuine desire. I mean, and that's like very specific case. Like she's extremely young, 18. She has never dated any guy. You go to a third world country. You you have a deal with her father. I don't know if that's legal or not. So I'm not giving any advice. Will you make a video about the damage that feminism did to society? I think that was my first video ever on the channel. The quality of the voice was horrible. I was responding to wheat waffles, but I talked about the damage that feminism did to society in that video. The second video on my channel. In this day and age, Muslim girls are even probably worse than the Western ones. Yes, Alim Anis. I will tell you why Muslim girls are worse. They are worse because not only they act like Western women, but they have the superiority complex of a Muslim woman. So she's doing everything the Western girl is doing, but she wants the plus of being a Muslim girl as if like the only title makes her superior. So this was the situation I had like with a girl, like was not Muslim, but let's say Christian, like devout Christian. And she was telling me like, я не феминистка. Феминизм, что за бред? Получается, she was making fun of feminists in Russian, but all her behavior was like feminist. Like she literally talked like a feminist the whole time we were dating. She was like a feminist, but she thinks that she's superior to them. So your Russian has an accent. Yeah, I have an accent in every language I speak. Yeah. Basically, every language I speak will carry an accent from another language. Sad life. But yeah, so they will think that they are not feminists, that they are above feminism, but they will literally like, are you gonna make that texting video? Ooh, that's gonna need a lot of editing. But yeah, I have the idea in mind. I just haven't wrote it yet. But my texting game, I think, I'm being humble, but I think I have great texting game because it's very efficient. You need the looks to pull it off, but let's assume like let's for example say I give my texting game to a very good looking guy. I think he will have better results. And I'm not lying, I'm not a grifter, I'm not selling anything. I'm gonna do the video for free. I'm just saying that my texting game is good. The only reason I don't get a lot of success with my texting game is because of my looks and stuff. I don't believe that my texting game has any mistakes. I think it's flawless actually. You will see when I make a video about it.
Divorced much. I told my parents this, man, and I don't regret it one bit. Oh, the sacrifices, these sacrifices they bring up. I didn't sign up for this, man. Whatever sacrifice you think you have made wasn't worth much to me. Because sadly and unfortunately, we don't live in the world in your head. This is a cruel world, materialistic world, visual world, shallow world, not an idealistic one. I had to find it out on my own. So in a sense, it is uncanny how much similarities I have with Mitten squad. Even parents, our parents are similar in a sense. Mine were a bit more helicopter.
Brutal, man, like brutal. If his son was better looking, the father would have invested more time into learning what his son is doing. But when his son is looking like this, he indulged in alcoholism. He was like less inclined to care. I'm not going to develop any further. You get what I'm trying to say. Maybe his parents knew, but since they knew, there's nothing they could do about it. Like, they know how he looks and they know how important looks are. I mean, don't let blue pill people fool you into like, they don't know how looks are important. They know that looks are important. When they look at that kid looking like that, they know that he has a problem in life. Maybe they knew about everything, but they just knew that also there is no solution, so they did nothing about it. Like, I mean, sometimes you know that a situation is, how to say this? There is no solution. It is, how do you call it in English when it stops? I forgot the word. Like when a situation has no out, you tend not to think about it much because you don't want to be thinking about something that has no solution. Dead end, yes, thank you, Anti Arezzo. When there is a dead end, you don't want to think about that situation that much. You want to not waste cognitive energy on a dead end. You have a child like that, okay? So you have a child who's like handicapped, whether it's by looks or whether like a physical handicap. So now you can't do anything about it. So why think about it that much? Like just continue live your life and do the minimum, like to not be blamed socially, and that's it. So that is also another theory. I'm not blaming the parents on anything. I'm just saying, if you were good looking and you had a child who looks bad like this, you would feel sorry for him, but you will be thinking about him less just by sheer like pragmatism, because the more you think, the more you're gonna be worried without any solution that you can offer. So it's just additional anxiety you're gonna add to your life, and you're gonna like give him pity, and he will not want pity. I mean, no one wants pity. Even if you're like sub 3, when people are pitying you, you don't enjoy it at all. Like, oh, sorry, poor looks. Like, no one enjoys pity. I mean, yeah, brutal stuff.